Welcome to the Pandemic Podcast. By the way, this is actually Jimmie's idea, which is great for us to get on here. So thank you so much for giving us this awesome idea about getting us all together to have some conversations about what's going on with with the climate, not literally the climate, but what's going on in this time where of the pandemic, and also discuss martial arts, kind of past, present, and future, because it's going to be an interesting time. Right now, we're getting the hang of using our amazing new software. As I'm apparently in the grass somewhere, and Lewis, you're on a beach. So
I'm on the private island that they're going to have the UFC fights at.
That's what we're going to talk about later. Yeah, I think that's it's going to be interesting. But also in that, since we are using this technology, if anything happens with it, as I understand, there have been some encryption problems where trolls have got on here and kind of like bombed our conversations and drawn genitalias on our faces or whatever. So if that happens, we're going to have to cut it off. Okay. But for right now, I think we're good. And it's great to be with you guys from the comfort of your homes. So the podcast will focus on some different perspectives. Today with us, we got Coach Hairo Martinez, teaches Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai at Beta Academy. Wonderful. Good to see you and your amazing hat that you got on there.
Thank you for having me.
Coach Jhimmie also teaches the kids, the teens program, the Muay Thai and the Jiu-Jitsu also at the Academy. Great to see you as well. And we have, of course, Coach Lewis, the guy who makes all the gears turn at the school and is also handling all of our fact checking and moderating today in case we start going down rabbit holes. He will steer us clear of them as he does for the school all the time. So that's right. Wonderful. That being said, so just want to quickly go into some of the stuff we have going on at the school. Right now, we are, of course, casting this live on Facebook. So we encourage you to interact, send comments and questions if you have any. Lewis, are you able to track that at the same time? Are you able to see what's going on? How many people we have on there? I can't hear you. You've muted yourself.
Sorry. Yeah, if they say anything on Facebook or type anything, I could answer the questions.
Fantastic. Or you can pose them to the group. That'd be wonderful. We'd love to hear from everybody. Again, we're always looking for some new ideas for how to stay connected with everyone. And so we will continue as we move forward to have our 12 o'clock Facebook live training and also our 6 o'clocks on Zooms. Those have been more like conversational. Last time I really tried to get some working out in, but it seemed like everybody was kind of sitting in a chair with a cup of coffee or a drink in their hand. So I didn't really want to get you to start jumping around, but 6 o'clock is also a good time to see everybody. And we also have the 5 o'clock video that comes out every day, Monday through Friday. Okay. So it's part of our virtual membership that we're offering to all the people that are staying aboard and staying on the ship during this time. And we really appreciate you. So that's actually the first sponsor of today's show is the Beta Academy students. So shout out to you all.
That's right. Shout out to the students.
That being said as well, the current situation, let's just kind of go into what's happening around DC, Maryland, Virginia. I think at this point, Hairo, where are you living?
I live in Beltsville, Maryland.
Great. So we got some perspective on Maryland, some of that area there, the whole tri-state area. Jhimmie and Lewis, where are you guys? Jhimmie, where are you living now?
I'm living in DC right now.
Are you close to the school or?
Yeah, I'm pretty close to the school. I'm like 10 minutes up the street.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in DC too. It's like a ghost town out here.
Yeah. Nobody's out, huh?
Nah, I mean, people are still out and about doing things. Like people are at parks working out. A lot of people are jogging and running and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to be careful during this time anyway. Yeah, I'm out in Virginia, so I got the perspective out in Virginia. That's kind of the all tri-state area. In my house, I have some elderly people. My mom, she wouldn't be called elderly, but compromised. My grandmother's 85, and then I got a newborn, so I got a lot of people that are kind of at risk. And while I feel like my risk is very low, of course, nobody wants to get sick. I just kind of, I'm careful about it too. So we're careful about making runs outside and staying safe. That being said, of course, that right now, I think it's April 27th is when this shelter in place policy in DC is being held towards. So I think that for right now, May 1st is our next opening date. Yeah, at the school.
Yeah, that's as far as we know, right? Like every day it seems like everything's changing with the regulations that come out and everything. So
And that's what's interesting about it. It's like during this time, I've never seen the situation change so much from like almost hour to hour, be it like where you're supposed to be, what you can do. I think right now you have to wear like a mask when you go out to go to the grocery store. Is that correct in DC?
Yeah, you have to wear grocery stores, just like being in you have to wear masks being in the grocery stores now. And they even have like social distancing spots, like when you wait in line. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be like a certain amount of feet away from each other. Even in the aisles, you have one-way aisles now.
what?
Yeah.
Louis, have you not left your house? You've not left your house, so it seems like everything's a shock to you.
Dude, I've been locked
Louis,
down.
hey, bro, if you need some groceries, you just hit me up.
I look out my window like an old man, and I'm like, oh, look at all these people walking around in this beautiful weather. Weird thing for me.
I had a conversation with my.
The sunlight kills the corona.
It's supposed to, and you know,
No.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. But see, that's what the whole thing is. Is like you're supposed to be outside because the sunlight kills the virus, right? Isn't it ultraviolet light?
Like these warm weather conditions that are coming up is supposed to help like flatten the curve. At least that's like to my understanding, because you know I've been reading sporadically here and there about what's going on. I'm not like the most well-informed person.
We're spitting out some bro science right now. So,
but where's everybody getting their news?
Hey, Louis, you could be fact-checking. That's why we're doing
I'm just saying, I can't fact check quick enough about this information you're putting out there.
You gotta get your thumbs up, man.
I'm trying to. That's Jiu-Jitsu, huh?
I mean, I cut the cord with cable maybe like 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, word.
Yes, I mean, but now that I got the family in the house, they want to watch the news.
They won't watch cable.
Well, yeah, but
it's so funny because I just got cable back.
Did you?
Like a year ago.
Did you? See, that's the thing.
Yeah, like a year ago.
Okay. Well, so I tried to get them cable in the house, but they're not making any installation calls right now. So you actually can't get.
Yeah, you can't even get cable right now.
Yeah, you can't get service if you wanted to get it. So that's kind of
you missed the mark, because right now they're offering premium channels for free. Because they're like, you know, we want to bless y'all. Not to make that, you know, not to make that wound hurt a little bit more.
This
but
is outrageous. Well, I mean,
I'm enjoying the hell out of Family Feud right now.
I got Disney Plus.
If you
Disney Plus been killing Disney Plus. I just watched like all the classic Disney movies back to back, like in the last 3 days.
I started watching the Avenger movies in order.
Oh man,
it's taking forever though, man.
Yeah, you know Chris Negri.
Yeah.
He had a whole list of like each Marvel movie like in
order.
Yeah. From best to worst, like him and all his friends.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it motivated me to go back and watch all of them. I was like, damn, I'm a lazy fan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I didn't get motivated to watch a movie.
Yeah.
So motivated to watch it.
I finally saw the one where they killed Thanos Endgame. Oh man, what an emotional.
Endgame blew me.
What?
Endgame blew me because it's like they killed their Thanos in the first
They killed him twice.
Yeah, no, they killed their Thanos, their reality's Thanos in like the first half of the movie. Now I'm like, this is a different Thanos from a different reality. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm lost. I got lost after Iron Man. Like I just don't know what happens anymore. I don't know what universe we're in. I don't know what's happening. I watch it. I sit there. I don't.
You know what's crazy? There's a bunch of, because a lot of people at Beta are really knowledgeable about this shit, and they're listening to this, just shaking their heads.
See,
they don't even know what they don't know.
Hey, people are all mad that we gave out the spoilers, man.
No, that's your fault. There's like an expiration.
It's gotta be like a 5-year. Like how that movie was made a long time ago, right?
Nah, if a movie is on DVD now, if you can watch that shit on Disney Plus, we're talking about
True.
There's no spoilers.
They got Disney Plus now.
I'm about to say, do they even make DVDs anymore?
Yeah, because people are still out here selling them. Going to barbershops and stuff.
Bootleggers, man.
Someone just tried to sell me but before the barbershops were closed down, someone was just trying to sell me some DVDs of The Wire.
Oh wow! Oh, come on, man.
Wow. I would see that'd be a good thing.
But you know what, Harold? That's a good point. Like, is Endgame? Oh yeah, they got Endgame on Blu-ray.
Blu-ray.
Yeah, because people
Blu-ray?
collect those. It's not even so much about watching them on Blu-ray on the discs. It's more about like collecting them.
Collect them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was saying, going back to cable, so if you can't get, where is everybody getting their news from then? If you guys are like following, because
Everywhere.
it's almost like a hysteria about what's going on around us.
Instagram.
I've resorted to memes. That's it. I'm just looking at memes. I'm trying to understand what's happening in the world.
Nah, they got quick news on it, but everywhere, cable, online. You know what I'm saying? Just every platform.
Yeah, I think that like you have to kind of. I mean, I see different websites right now. I'm using a lot of websites, I guess. So I go to I try to figure out far right, far left. You know, try to figure out what's really happening. So like Guardian, you got CNN, you got Drudge Report, you got Zero Hedge, like all these everybody's kind of like got different perspectives on them. But for the most part, everybody's kind of like, this is a situation where everybody, it's going to change your life forever. And so I'm like, all right, well, I don't know how much of that is hype and I don't know how much of that is real. That's all basically I'm saying, especially because I'm kind of without cable. But just to kind of give everybody out there, if you need a solution to be able to get some kind of mainstream media news, and you know me, I'm okay, I say it, not a conspiracy theorist.
Oh, no.
Alternative news.
No.
I always want to know what the media is saying. Let's put it that way, just to see what's going on. But you can use Sling, not to give them when I'm getting paid by Sling. Maybe we'll have some sponsors. It's internet TV you can get for like $20. So they give you free for 14 days. You can get on there. But those are regular mainstream media channels. You're gonna have to make sure you fact check all that. There's a lot of that's fake news.
I try not to watch any news because it kind of scares me. So I've been playing little video games on my phone now.
I'm doing what Nak does and just look at memes. I'm watching a lot of like the Tiger King memes. They're like number one right now.
Nah, what's next? You the host, bro.
Okay, so what are you guys seeing in the news? Here's what I'm seeing. We're talking about the UFC, right? They want to have fights on, was it 249? First of all, the Tony Ferguson fight and the Khabib fight. I have wanted to see that fight for so long now. This is the 5th time it's been canceled.
I gave up on it.
This fight is cursed.
Hey,
never gonna happen.
One of the funniest memes I saw about that was like a dude waking up from a 5-year coma asking who won between Tony and Khabib.
Memes, man. I tell you, it's very it's very frustrating. I want to see that fight, and I thought they were going to do it in like Dubai or wherever it is, but it turns out Ferguson was going to fight Gagey, and then what happened? They just
canceled it, scrapped it.
Right. That was was for next.
You know what this is going to lead to, right? This is going to lead to like virtual like fighting or some type of like AI fighting.
Oh my god!
Some virtual shit like
you're gonna upload your mind into a machine and then you have to fight within the machine, bro. It's basically like the Matrix.
Yeah, or or even some shit like what was that Hugh Jackman movie with the robots?
I know the answer to this.
Real Steel or something.
Real Steel, that's what it is.
Yeah,
you guys watching bad movies, man.
Nah,
watching bad movies is fun, man.
It's gonna lead to that.
Yeah, I would think that would be pretty entertaining. I mean, we should just build robots and have them fight each other, maybe. And
honestly, it's like we've never needed a crowd for fights. You know what I'm saying? It might just lead to that. It might just lead to like some like reformation and like how like fights are even held.
You duel, just walk up and smack somebody in the face.
Yeah,
make it happen.
Or you could just like send people to remote locations. Like, now people can fight on mountains. We could stream that.
We were about
you would sacrifice the ticket revenue sales for like huge jumps in pay-per-view sales.
We were about to do that at the school, but then that got scrapped.
Oh no.
So we're gonna have some people fight each other. But then I contacted Justin from Jersey, who's at the Howard University Hospital right now, working. He said that how we could do it was people could self-isolate for 5 days, because then that kind of like it takes like 4 or 5 days for the symptoms to show, and then once they're done self-isolating, then they would go and they could, they could take a test, a 24-hour test, but you need a referral to get it. So each person would self-isolate, take the test, and then they could meet at some like location and fight it out.
Damn.
With school. So
damn.
That sounds sketchy. You're about to lose a kidney. Go through that process.
Well, let's not make it fight. We can have like my good friend Murillo was doing. He was he was asking like, what rule sets would you like to see? So we could do the same thing. We could be like, what rules do you want to see? And then we can get people to show up and do it. But right now, I don't think it's a good time. But maybe in the future we could have some good pay-per-view programming. We fight on.
Yeah, let's pencil it in for like next month.
Let's go. Let's make it happen. Dude. Make it happen. It's like, if you want to see that, comment and like this video.
Yeah. And who would you like to see fight?
There you go. Who
right.
see fight? We'll fly him in. No, first we'll start with the school, and then we can get opponents from all around. That would be cool.
I'd want to see like mixed matches. Like I want to see like 2-on-1, or like one person with a stick and the other person with 2 swords or something.
We did that one time at the school. You know, we used to have those fights in the back.
Yeah, I remember those.
With the weapons, you know. First we were just doing like the double sticks, which is the swords. But then we started adding like staffs and like projectile weapons to it. It got pretty wild. But you know, if you run the experiment, what we did learn was that once the carnage starts, it's very difficult to stop. Even in real life. In real life, people are going at you like, okay, we're done. People are still hacking each other. So yeah, it was pretty gruesome. And so you're thinking like, if you actually apply that to real combat, like how is that? I can see where once things start, it's hard to stop.
Yeah, I remember back in the day we used to do those like early morning training sessions, and then we'd finish them with like weapons. It'd be like 5-on-5 or like 3-on-3 or something. And just like with that amount of people, I was like, wow, this is extremely messy. Like I can't even like, I don't even know if I can fight off 2 people if they both have weapons. You know, it's a different strategy. You know, we train so much like one-on-one type of scenario where, you know, it's combat sports a lot of times, you know. It was fun. I would like to bring that back. Like if we could have like regular weapons classes, that'd be fun.
We should totally do that.
Especially, you know, after all this, I feel like people want to get their weapons skills back up.
I think so. I did a weapons video not too long ago. I'm looking to make a series out of it so that we can, you know, kind of go back to it. If you
do a bow staff one.
Yeah. You know, I go back and study like actual combat of the bow staff. My bow staff knowledge is almost like choreographic dancing, but it is a great weapon if you think about it, because you know, if you were a monk and you carried a bow staff around, like if you use it as a walking stick, you know what I'm saying? Like you could tie like a thing to the back of it and carry your stuff on it, you know? And if you really need to go like war style, you can put like a spear at the end of it and then use it as like, you know, dude, it's a versatile weapon, man. You gotta use it. 3/4 staff.
What about nunchucks? How do you feel about that?
I hit myself in the nuts. You have a pair in the back. You're really good at them, and you and O'Keefe are like masters of it.
You know what's sad? He's the one that taught me how to do that.
Really?
I'm the fan of the nunchucks.
Yeah.
Hey, so I got bad news.
What's bad?
I'm gonna have to end
2
this,
minutes,
and I'm gonna have to restart it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
This is part 1 of episode 1.
Yeah, so this is part 1, episode 1, and then there's gonna be a part 2, and then we'll see where we're at if this thing upgrades or not. Oh, this is terrible. But be right back. All right.
Are we jumping off this thing and coming back?
So we're gonna jump on, and then I'm gonna send you information about a new one.
Okay.
You know, to get in the meeting, and then we're gonna do it real quick.
My question is, did you hit record on this thing? No! Oh God.
We're working on it. All right. This is episode 1. It's gonna be only in the Facebook group, and then we'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right. We're about to get back on. All right.
Okay.
All right. Right back.
Later.
Technical. There he goes.
All right. We didn't lose it.
That's a little better.
All right. I'm a senior. I'm going to go in space.
So what happened? What happened in space?
I'm going in space.
Oh,
Are you going?
that's pretty good. You're messing up.
My fault. What happened? What were we talking about?
No, we were talking about weapons training scenarios, that type of thing. But you know, oh,
Man, nah, forget weapons training. I need to. I don't even have survival skills, bro. Like, what happens if like the economy crashes? We all have to like stop.
wait.
And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't live out in the forest.
Why'd you take it? What? We
We're talking about weapons.
Damn, Jhimmie.
Okay.
This is the type of things I'm thinking about right here.
I agree.
It's because I regret not taking these opportunities when people were trying to get me to like come with them to these seminars and to these retreats to learn how to do this shit. I denied them.
Damn.
We just gotta go. Jhimmie, we can fix this. We just gotta go camping, bro.
You know what? That's what we should do for fun. Is like take a survival courses class or something. Oh, that's a good idea.
Nah, man, this is what we do. You just give us a knife, all right? We go strip butt naked into the wild and just see who can survive.
I'm not going on naked and afraid, bro. It's not enough money. I'm definitely not doing that joint for free. You know.
I agree with you on that. Like, we got to learn. But hey, I think the scenarios are different now because we are in like an urban environment. That's why I switched it back.
So we gotta be tactical. We need like tactical survival skills.
No, we need to get together and help each other out. That's what we got to do. We can't maraud each other.
Dude, it gets every day.
We need to create factions. Like that's the only thing. It's gonna be like what's that joint? The Warriors. It's gonna be like that. It's like everyone's gonna have their own little factions and groups.
Well, see, here's the thing: if you Hollywood,
let's be real about what's gonna happen.
Hollywood and TV shows have prepared us for this idea, of all this stuff that we've watched to get us to this one point. And I think it's an interesting experiment now to see like where we take it.
I believe that's called priming.
Yeah,
like priming our brains for like these inevitable situations, so we'll be complacent with stuff
or situations that they create.
Yeah.
Some people would believe that the CIA owns all of Hollywood music industry. Anyway, okay, I'll take it out of there.
Louis, you need like yellow flags or a horn or something.
My imaginary fishing pole, and I'm gonna reel it back in.
All right.
You know what you should do, Louis?
You should have naked to conspiracies, bro. You can't be making that kind of leap,
Right.
Louis, you know what you should start doing? You should start carrying yellow and red cards, just like how they do in soccer.
Oh my God. What a great idea.
That is a great idea. Be like, hey, you got to stop talking about because there are a lot of things that are being put out there right now that they're being censored. So I know look into it yourself. There's a lot of stuff that's being censored. I don't know if you guys seen and I'll just mention it so we don't get real quick. If you guys look into David Icke, I know a lot of people think he's crazy. Everyone thinks he's crazy, but he had a podcast on recently, and then they withdrew it from all like YouTube and Vimeo. So I don't know. Look into it. See what happens. Anyway, I'll leave it at that.
All right.
Going back, survival though. I think at this point, what they have is they have like a lot of survival gardens, especially in like urban areas. They're doing it on rooftops, so they think that they could actually produce enough food, provided that we all get together and use like vertical farming methods.
There's not enough rooftop space to make acres of food.
You could also, if we could use electricity, we could also,
we could do that. Yeah, we could do that.
I think we could do that. I think we are there, but our system at this point is like kind of like antiquated in the sense.
No, like technologically we're there. We're just broke boys. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't got money for that. Like I can't buy a solar panel.
That's true.
Like, like there's people around like DC like who have solar panels up on their rooftops, and it's like the technology's there. It's just not accessible to everyone.
Let's see. Maybe it's made that way, but we won't know until we cross that barrier. So
hey, bro, I saw there's a video like of how they try and use renewable energy in the Philippines. It's a third world country, so it's like they got to be inventive, right? And so what they do for like these like little like broken homes, like these shack like homes, they take like old Coke bottles, right? Like old Coke, like plastic Coke bottles, cut a hole into the roof and like put like some like aluminum shavings or something in the water, and it creates like this strong beam of light, produced from the Coke, Yeah, so it's like we can start growing our vegetables with those, not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now show me how to do it. Show me how to do it. We can also build houses out of plastic bottles and sand. There's a lot of things that that we could do, man.
Oh my God! I just read the funniest thing ever. So Jhimmie and Nak look related, and Lewis is Hairo's dad. That's all right.
Great.
So
what if me and Hairo really y'all from the past?
Oh,
No, that's too much. That's too much. They're not ready for that. Not ready for that.
Me and Jhimmie are time travelers. I don't even know.
terrible.
Holographic simulation.
Hey, did we talk about the UFC fights? How Dana White was gonna have it on a private island, or
Yeah. Well,
We touched on that.
yeah, we were very upset that we're not going to see Tony Ferguson versus pretty much anybody right now.
Yeah, but it's like all the other sporting events are canceled, so it's not like it's like we're missing out on really much else.
You know what's sad about that fight, though? I feel like even if they do happen to have it later in the future, it's not going to be as good as everyone thinks it's going to be.
Yeah, almost like the Pacquiao Mayweather fight, because it was
kind of
drawn out. You know what I'm saying? And their bodies, like they weren't where they once were. Like they should have had these fights way before Tony had those surgeries. You know what I'm saying?
You know what they're talking about now with the situation being what it is. It's like people don't have that luxury now of saying like, oh, you want to fight? All right, sign that paper. We'll fight in like 6 months or like 3 months. And I'm going to have a 12-week camp. It kind of takes it back to the situation where, it's like, oh, you think you're better than me? Well, let's prove it right now.
Yeah.
And I respect that. And I
think about that gangster shit.
Dude, that's awesome.
I'm so about that.
What it was like. That's why it was the Ultimate Fighting Championship back in the day, man. You were just taking like different people from different martial arts backgrounds and pitting them against each other. There wasn't any like, oh, I got to do my whole conditioning thing. Or, this is what I'm eating, or this is what I'm not eating. They just got in there and started fighting each other. Like one of the fights that I always remember is Sean what was his name? Emmanuel Yarborough. He's like a 450-pound sumo wrestler against this guy, Keith Hackney, who's like a 200-pound Kempo guy. And the Kempo guy actually beats the sumo wrestler, and it was amazing. He broke his hand doing it, but he like clubbed the guy down, and while he's on the ground, he's like hitting him.
Oh, I've seen that fight.
Wasn't Keith Hackney Tiger Karate or
Kempo Karate? He was like Ed Parker's Kempo Karate. Like he'd be like this.
He fought like this. It was awesome.
Cat paw. So
if we can go back to that, that'd be awesome,
dude. I think that's where it needs to go again. Like you got to take out rounds, and I think we were all saying that. Look, I love all martial arts. I was looking for the most effective martial arts back in the 90s, trying to find like which one it was. Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling. Like I was gravitating towards these things. But at the same time, they were saying that the rounds favor the striker. Because like if you get on the ground, you only have a certain amount of time to finish it. So in this situation where you could let time go, the grappler would have more time to work. But also conversely, like a lot of it is just a strategy too. These guys are being egged on by the fans, by the referee to fight, to probably do things they weren't otherwise wanting to do or didn't feel like it was time to do, all in the name of entertainment. And I think that if we kind of took that element away and just allowed people just to go at it, back then there was no time limit. I think for the first like 5 or 6, they had no time limit.
It was when they extended the pay-per-view. I think it was Royce Gracie and Dan Severn that they said 30 minutes. No. And then those guys fought for 30 minutes, and then then they didn't. It cut off, but then they kept fighting, and it was John McCarthy, and he was like, "All right, 2 more minutes," and then he had him fight for 2, and then he was like, "Another 2 minutes," and then it was either Dan Severn or Ken Shamrock. I can't remember.
The whole thing initially for the first UFC was like a Gracie marketing, I guess, strategy that they were just going to allow these people to come in. They were going to show you the effectiveness of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. And that was kind of like, that was their whole thing to try to, I don't know, back when I was a kid, growing up as a teenager, I was always getting mailers, like you get like junk mail advertisements. So you get a lot less now, but back then you get a lot more. And I would always get like Gracie Jiu-Jitsu mail that would let you buy Gracie in action fights. and stuff like that to try to help like market the family martial art. And so they were really good at that. They were ahead of their time on marketing. And so I think that like the UFC was a great platform for it. And back then you were getting maybe once every 6 months, you were able to watch something. So you were like ready, you know, like, oh, when's the next one going to happen? Okay. And you never knew what was going to happen. But for me, the first one I ever saw was number 2. And you can actually go on YouTube, and a lot of their fights are free.
UFC 1's on YouTube for free.
Yeah.
The whole thing, right?
Yeah. You know what? I look at that UFC 1 and it's like, man, what if Royce Gracie had to fight that sumo wrestler?
That first time?
Yeah, because he dodged the sumo wrestler. I think the sumo wrestler was on the other side of the bracket. But man, if Royce Gracie had to fight him, he'd have a real hard time.
Supposedly, they also, made the brackets, but the way that we were, I don't know. But yeah, you're right. He would definitely have a harder time with that.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu would be hard against a big-ass sumo wrestler, especially in the first round when he's not tired.
Well, yeah, imagine that man just pressing you up against the fence.
Oh,
that's his whole job. That's his whole life is pushing someone.
Yeah.
You know?
And what are you gonna do? Single leg him?
Nah.
Maybe. Ended up getting punched in the face. That's when striking was going to help. But
the sumo just they just have a different type of like a base and everything. You know, it's like I don't know. It's an effective style. I think people like to try to like degrade it a little bit. But I think like Machida, he had a background in sumo.
Lyoto Machida?
Yeah, and like he was extremely difficult to take down because of his base.
Yeah.
When I used to live in Japan, you know how we have PE over here. In Japan, they do like sumo as their PE.
Yeah.
That's tight. I wish I grew up in Japan.
Dude, it's tight.
I'd be a sumo wrestler in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think
I know that's the dream. All you do is eat all day
type?
and then push someone out of circle and get paid for that.
Yeah.
Bro, you get to train, you get to eat, and then go to
You
sleep.
see what they eat? You know they eat that they eat this big ass bowl. I think it's called like chonga or champa or something like that. But it's like this big ass broth of just like it's got like 10,000 calories in it. You know?
Yeah.
They eat that after practice. You know?
Then they take a nap.
I mean, what martial arts, like, bro? What other martial arts encourages eating and napping? Like
all of them.
I mean, yeah, but like really
like go on that Goku diet.
Hey, let me go back. I gotta go back to Tony Ferguson and Khabib. So that they're not gonna fight now. They canceled the Private Island event or whatever Native reservation.
I don't know. Did they say that they were indefinitely putting them on hold? Because as much as I think Dana White's like this crazy dictator guy, like he's trying to make it happen. Right?
Well, he was really trying to make it happen. And then I think ESPN
said no.
Now they own the UFC or something. Yeah. They were like, nah, we're just not gonna do it. So he's like, all right then. But who do you think wins between Khabib and Tony Ferguson?
I had Khabib.
Damn, so I was just watching what's it called? Ferguson versus Pettis. Were y'all watching that?
Bro, isn't that one where he
choked?
You can't count Tony Ferguson out. You can't count him out.
Yeah.
He has too much
I
dog
agree.
in him. He has too much dog in him. That's the only thing that I would see him giving could be problems is like his jiu-jitsu so scrambly. It's so like it's so scramble and catch oriented. You know that I could see him just like being able to scramble and get out of a lot of positions that could potentially put him into.
And that's what you're saying. If Khabib if he's able to implement his game plan, then he's gonna win.
I think Tony's just gonna bring because it's like what's befelled like a lot of great champions in the past. It's like that little element of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at Muhammad Ali versus Sonny Liston. It's like Sonny Liston was like the man back in the day. You know what I'm saying? He was kingpin. But it's like Ali, and people were saying that Ali was a little early for him, but that he added that element of crazy. He stood outside his door or stood outside his house, like call him out to fight.
Yeah.
Nah, but Tony Ferguson on another level, man. That dude,
he's
crazy.
He's legit crazy. You know what I'm saying? And Khabib, and it doesn't matter if he is or not. The important thing is he got Khabib to believe that he's crazy.
That's also true.
So Khabib thinks this man's crazy.
That's also true. Shit, he's already in his head if you think about it.
Tony got a dog in him. He got a dog in him, bro.
What you trying to say? Yeah. So, go ahead, Nak. Go ahead.
I was just saying, as part of the CTE, maybe. The concussions that you're getting over and over and over again.
Potentially.
I will say this though. I don't think Tony Ferguson should be continue fighting though. That dude has literally like mental health issues, man. Like legit.
Mental health and body health wise, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he destroyed his knees, but I think it's just a testament to his will and his mental fortitude that he's been
That's
able
true
to,
too.
you know what I'm saying, to be at this level, despite even the type of training that people criticize him to do. You know, it's like
you seen his videos? He's trying to hurt himself for like
it looks
2
like
hours straight.
like 2 hours straight, like doing like all this unconventional like weightlifting and stuff. And it looks crazy to us, but it's like it takes that type of mentality to be at that level. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be that crazy to like be at the top like that, because it's like, dang, like he's been like his last fight with Pettis, that joint was a war.
Yeah,
you know? It's like that tested like the limits.
He got dropped too. He got hit in the chin.
He got dropped like 2-3 times. You know, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy.
So Jhimmie, you think Tony Ferguson got it?
I think he poses the most problems to Khabib.
So you think Khabib's gonna win?
I think he has the. I think Khabib. If I had to break it down percentage wise, I would give Khabib 60% chance.
Oh,
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat.
Because the way it takes someone out like him out like that is like you got to apply pressure to him. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a slick ground game, like super slick. It can't just be technical. It has to be like you can catch like heel hooks or or a choke at any moment. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be super dangerous on the bottom.
Yeah.
And you have to be super unconventional on the feet too.
I think the attraction to the fight is that it either can maintain. I mean, that's pretty much in any competitive sporting event. If you can keep somebody in your game that you're good at, you can win that. So like for Tony, if you can keep it standing, I think he has a huge advantage on the feet.
Yeah.
If he can, if he's on the ground in a way that he's not being like in like his hand pinned to the mat or anything like that, like he's in an area where he can launch attacks from the guard, you know, submissions, he has an advantage there. You know, whereas Khabib has an advantage taking down and keeping it down, you know, ground and pound. So I think that's the interesting. But you know what? We may never get to see it.
Yeah.
I think the only way Tony Ferguson wins is via submission, though. I don't see him knocking Khabib out, neither like decision wise. Like he's gonna. That's the only way I see him winning.
I see him getting TKO on the feet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nah. Well, maybe.
Pressure him.
Maybe.
Only if Khabib can't, you know, implement his game plan and keep him down on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Because on the feet, I think Tony was slowly wearing him out. You know.
I don't know, man. Khabib's tank is like.
His tank is wild, and he's wild on the feet too. Because like, remember how people were like, "Oh, if Khabib's on the feet with Conor going to piece him up and stuff." And look what ended up happening. Like he clipped him with that big right bomb and put him on his feet, and then it made Conor tentative on the feet with him for the rest of the fight. So that could always potentially happen too. Like he could potentially mix up his takedowns with his striking. Again, Khabib said, and now again Tony said, and now Tony's too concerned about takedown the feet, and now he's getting clipped by bombs. And Tony's clippable. You know what I'm saying? Like Pettis clipped him like a bunch of times during that fight.
Honestly, the last fight, the Gaethje fight, I would really want to see that one too, because the last time I saw Justin Gaethje fight, he could do pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Down
and he wrestled,
that guy's trouble for anybody, and I think it's unfortunate for him that he wasn't able to get that fight. You know? But you know, there's only certain. I don't follow UFC or MMA as closely as I'd like to these days, but
I don't either. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, but I don't know. This is just like this fight's been brewing so long. You know what I'm saying? You don't even need to stay up to date for this joint.
For years, he came back from Ferguson came back from an ACL reconstruction. That's like a year rehab to come back and deal with it. It's been going on for so long.
But I agree with Hairo, because he was talking about I was just going to burn out and lose steam for the excitement for the fight. It's like this joint just going to burn out eventually. People like the pay-per-view hits I bet are going to, or the pay-per-view sales I bet are going to take a hit just from lack of excitement. Or who knows? Maybe it builds up more excitement. I don't know. That ain't my job.
I feel like this fight's going to be like, remember when Vanderlei Silva and Chuck Liddell didn't fight for a bunch of years, and then all of a sudden we fought in the UFC, but it was like it wasn't for a title. It was like, but it was a good fight. I think it's going to be kind of like that. So it sounds like everybody's saying they think Khabib's going to win, but you're kind of pulling for Tony Ferguson. That's what it kind of sounds.
I don't know. I think it's cool to see like to see like dominant champs be dethroned just because it's interesting to see how it happened. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so
I'm not a huge Tony fan. Like I probably wouldn't like him in person. I just think the idea of him beating Khabib is interesting because I like Khabib more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could say that it's staying champion is more difficult than becoming champion. You know,
Oh, sure.
you know,
That's
you guys watch video on you all the time. They're studying you. They're trying to figure out how to dethrone you. So it's always harder, man, to stay at the top.
Yeah, that's why the case of John Jones is like so incredible because he's been so
Yeah,
and then this man's still out here just doing the same old.
Little John
Jones.
Out drunk fights, right? Isn't that what he used to do?
Yeah, you know what's so crazy? Like my first ever, like the first time I ever watched a UFC event live, it was John Jones. I was 13 years old. I'll never forget it. It was John Jones playing Shogun Rua for the title as the youngest. And if he won, he was going to be the youngest champion ever in UFC history. And like, I remember being the only person rooting for him in the room. You know, and then when he went with like from the get-go, he hit with the flying knees, and then once he finished him off with that left hook to the body, you know, the room was just speechless because they couldn't believe that he did that shit to Shogun. You know, and then he just never stopped.
But even then, it's still hard to be a John Jones fan.
It's hard. I admire the skill, but I'm done with him. But I admire the skill.
Let him do all the drugs he wants. Just let him do that.
Let him fight.
Let them fight. That's it. They beat each other anyway. Whatever.
Honestly, it's like that is an argument too that some people make. Like, yo, like let these guys do HGH. Let them do steroids and stuff. They train so much. And that's your prerogative. You know what I'm saying? It's like we do so much already that's unnatural because the whole argument is like you're adding something like unnatural to like a sport that should be like fair and competitive. But it's like, well, what about people who can like do that like cryogenic, you know, like healing stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because they got the money for it versus someone who can't even get to those facilities, or like someone who's taking like supplements, like certain type of supplements, so they get lab tested and they're doing all this and that and third. You can make the argument that that's unnatural, but now it's like you know, some doctors, like I remember for the Tour de France, the doctor who was examining these people, he said it would have been fatal if they didn't take HGH during the Tour de France.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because their bodies couldn't. It's not meant for the human body to do. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not meant for the human body to do, but it's like because it's so profitable, it's gotten this big.
The Juice Olympics, dude.
Yeah. We should make it the Juice Olympics. You should be able to do whatever you want going in there. Make it an even playing field. Everyone gets to do what they do. You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to see really who has the best skill set.
We'd have to buy an island first, though.
What GSP is saying, all this is not going to matter 20, 30 years from now when they start engineering people. And you have whatever, you know, you can have superior.
Go to robot fights.
Bro, give me a cybernetic body. I just want to be a cyborg.
Here we go.
I don't need a whole body, maybe just my left arm because it's my non-dominant arm.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, y'all seen Teen Titans?
Oh my god.
Cartoon.
I guarantee you they don't know what that means.
Hey, I'd want cyborgs on though.
All right. Oh, damn, again.
Are we there? Well, we've done this. We've been on almost an hour and a half, man. Maybe like 10 minutes.
That's a good one. All right, so
and we can figure out. Also, comment on here. Tell us what other people. Maybe if you want to get on with us, if you want to comment there.
Oh yeah, how are they gonna let us know? Are they gonna? I guess they could do it on the chat, or they could email us. Anyway, man, we're checking all that stuff.
Tracy hit us up. Tracy Huang.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? We did get questions that I was supposed to ask. I gotta ask a couple questions.
Go for it. Q&A time.
All right. So I'm gonna Hairo. What's your favorite anime show character? And why? Or if you had any superpower you wanted, which would it be?
All right.
You already know the favorite.
Yeah, I already got. Well, you know me. But my favorite anime is definitely One Piece. Hence the straw hat. So if you guys don't know that, look that up. What was the second part?
Where can we watch it?
You can go on Hulu, but I usually watch it on Crunchyroll because, you know, if you're a real nerd, you got that.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. And the second part was, if you had any superpower you wanted, what would it be?
All right. Well, since I watch anime, it gets a little weird, so I was gonna keep it super simple, and it's the ability to control fire.
Oh,
Okay.
fire.
Yeah. Don't know why.
You don't know
I just
how
think
to
that'd be
like,
badass.
cook your food, or you can,
Fire's the way you go.
Heat up your coffee or your tea,
dude. That's
Murk someone.
or you can, or you can like propel yourself into the sky and make yourself look like you're flying. I'm just saying.
Oh wow. All right. So let me see. All right, Jhimmie. So if you could fight a 10-foot long shark or a half-ton bunny, which one would you fight and why?
Wait, you said a 10-foot long
All right.
shark?
I'll ask again. So you have to fight one of these two animals. Either a shark that's 10 feet long, or a bunny.
Big ass shark.
That's half a ton, or a big bunny.
Or a big bunny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for the bunny because that joint's probably not gonna mess with me. A 10-foot shark, that joint's still big. I don't
What
even
if
know.
it's a rabbit bunny?
Aren't you supposed to like punch a shark in the nose or something?
I told you that. That's
That's what you do.
Well, you got 3 ways to deal with the shark. You got to punch it in the nose. All right. The second way is you can grab its gills. Yeah.
Oh wow.
You got to.
Then I'd be underwater. I don't want to fight anything.
So you gotta.
I can't fight. So we don't train underwater, y'all. I'm not ready.
All right. We don't train underwater yet.
I could at least kick the bunny. You know what I'm saying?
I've never been in a fight with a shark, but that's what I was told.
If I can throw a spinning back kick, I think I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying?
It sounds like the shark is the same thing as any other creature. As long as you take its back by the gills.
You can't choke out a shark, dude.
You choke out a shark, right?
No, the difference is you have a minute supply of oxygen to do that versus on land where I could run circles around this bunny all day.
Can you kill a shark if you put your hand in its gill?
I
don't know, but potentially maybe in its eye or something.
Or maybe the book, the worst case scenario book, is like the survival book that I read on the toilet. You could read it. It's telling you how to.
I'm finding a rabbit. Rabbit is nothing.
The rabbit, yeah.
All right, it's the rabbit. All right.
Plus, if you kill it, you have something to eat.
Exactly.
True. Your survival skills, dude.
Or I could tame it, or I could domesticate it. I could enslave it.
Whoa.
Nah, fuck that.
You gotta get like that.
Nah,
right.
fuck that. Have you ever had rabbit? Rabbit's pretty good.
Nah, but I've had deer.
It's very I would say stringy, but it's very tough. I'd say I've eaten it a few times. It's not my favorite, but hey, it's something you could do. You could they need a lot of grass to eat, but you could raise bunnies and eat them. Unfortunately.
All right, Lewis. I'm killing the rabbit. What's the next one?
All right. I have one for Nak. We'll keep it light. Oh, you know what? All three of you guys can answer this one. Your favorite video game, childhood or now?
Oh, Fight Night
We'll
Champion.
go Nak first. Wait. We'll go Nak first.
Dude, it's got to be Street Fighter 2, man. Street
Of course.
I was gonna say.
The game. Next to that is Tekken Tag. I'd say Tekken Tag. I played a lot of that in college, skipping school and go play that game in the arcade. But those are the best games. And I think back then this is the best way because when you got there, you put your quarter in the machine and then you stood next to the person who played him. You didn't know who that person was. Sometimes you get in altercations, but like man, you can learn so much by playing that game. I highly recommend everybody play that game. And I know they got number 5 out, number 6 out, and all these different ones. Like I don't even know how to play those, but I usually stick to the original Street Fighter 2 and it teaches lessons every day. So.
All right. Nak, Hairo.
Oh man. Well, when I was younger, it was Street Fighter up until I played Knock, and then he kind of killed that for me. He's really good with guile, so if you fight him, stay away from him. But right now, if I had to pick one, it'd be Super Smash Brothers, which is like basically a fighting game with like all the Nintendo characters. I think that one's like my favorite one.
Super Smash Brothers is pretty good.
Yeah.
Jhimmie, what about you? Jhimmie looks like he's doing something else.
Nah, it would be Fight
Night
Champion.
Why you gotta talk like that?
My fault. I was just saying something. But it would be Fight Night Champion. Y'all ever play Fight Night Champion?
Fight Night. All haymakers.
Oh,
it's a boxing video game.
Really
It's better than all the UFC games. It's
man, I agree with you.
Like, cause you know what makes Fight Night so cool is like it's just the level of technicality you know, in actually boxing. You know what I'm
And
saying?
the training that you got to do. You got to.
Yeah, it's like so realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember I spent a whole summer, like me and my friends just playing fight night, like from like sun up to sundown.
We need to bring that game back. It's been so long since I played it. It is really good.
Mm-hmm.
You are
Yeah,
right.
nah, they canceled the
agree.
fight night. Yeah, they canceled Fight Night Champion 2 in place for the UFC EA games.
Yeah,
You know,
they did.
I don't even like the UFC games.
I'm just saying, I got a PS2 and I also got a PS3, an
I'm
old
on the
Xbox. You can
PS3.
order that shit on eBay and we can
I
play.
know. I know. I'm trying to play. Like that's what got me mad about the PS5 because I thought it was going to be completely backward compatible through all
Yeah.
generations. But I think it's only up to what it's like PS5 and PS4.
I think so. Yeah.
It's only backward compatible to 4.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Hey,
The new one that's coming out. You're
someone
right.
someone correct us if anyone out there is listening because I feel like we've been spreading a lot of misinformation as well.
No, man. I've been looking out.
Louis, are you sure you've been like fact checking
right.
every little thing we've been saying?
All right, maybe not everything, but like I be trying.
Louis, how quick are those thumbs exactly?
I be trying. Like I'm trying. Hey, nobody said Marvel versus Capcom. I guess that's
That
not
game is great too. You're right. That is a great game.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys.
For those to be classics for me.
Oh God, what about that game? Back in the day, it was called NBA Jams, where you could like slam dunk from half court.
They came out with the newer version,
the
NBA Streets.
Yeah, the NBA Street joints.
That was better.
That was my joint.
Damn.
I was AI all day. AI all day.
So, all right. It looks like we're at less than a minute. So, Nak, you got to say bye. We'll make quick goodbyes. So, Jhimmie say bye, Hairo say bye, and then Nak say bye, and I'll say bye right now. Bye.
Go.
Bye.
I appreciate y'all. This has been a good opportunity to kind of stay connected with the community. Please let us know what other topics you'd like for us to discuss. You want to be on the show? Like, comment, share. We're going to try to put this on YouTube. And wishing you strength and safety during this time of uncertainty. Take care.
We'll get better.